All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be getting into the live stream here, obviously, for today's NBA and college basketball slate. We are getting plenty of pretty good prop bets as it currently sits right now that we'll be touching on, obviously, in this video. Coming in off of a pretty good day yesterday, Flex Friday-wise, kind of just a quick recap. So, obviously, went 3 for 3 yesterday, which continues a very kind of successful 2025 thus far. Like, pretty much ideal 2025 betting year thus far, in the sense of it being like a realistic expectation for the year. Like it's been very ideal in that sense. So continuing a good stretch here. Obviously, last Friday we were able to go 3 for 3 as well. Then we ended up having a pretty good Saturday last Saturday. So hopefully that continues here as well today. So we'll be jumping into some of those top prop bets today. And let's go ahead and start off with really a few of the best prop bets that we currently have. So one of the best prop bets that we have is going to be Jameer Watkins to get over his fantasy score right now on PrizePicks, guys. This is a pretty stellar bet that we are currently getting. And the nice thing about a lot of the bets that I'm going to be touching on is that none of them are going to be going live during this video, which to me is obviously a good thing. And like last video, we had some plays that were going live as I was recording. So I'll pull up here one of the bets that we are getting here. So yeah, Jameer Watkins, guys, for over his fantasy score. We look at the game log on PrizePicks, very darn solid there. We'd like to see that there. I'll pull them up here on the cheat sheet as well. We're going to see that this is clearly a defined edge for us. Okay, so average sportsbook line has it closer to 33.5. The projection data also has that at 34.72. So this is obviously clearly a good bet that we are getting here for Jameer Watkins to get over his fantasy score. And, I'm probably not going to give out a specific bet slip, but this would be part of that bet slip if I were to give one out specifically, guys. So obviously that's a bet that we want to be targeting there. And then if we continue on, we are getting another decent college basketball prop bet in Micah Peavy for over his fantasy score. So this is going to be kind of the second prop bet that we are looking at here. So Micah Peavy for over his fantasy score of 36.5. Okay, when we look at the average sportsbook line, it has him at 41.6. Projection data also likes him at about 42. So we're already naturally getting a pretty decent edge there for Micah Peavy. And so we got two pretty decent fantasy score prop bets. And I do like the idea of being able to bet on two overs on PrizePicks. Typically, they're a little bit lower than Underdog. And so that's what we're getting here today. I'm going to pull this one up here so you guys can kind of see his game log here as well. Get to match up with DePaul. And we'll pull it up here so you guys can see. So the game log, not too pretty, but at the same time, not terrible as well. It's kind of one of those lines that I don't mind to see. Crazy against Creighton and Providence, though, there. Mark had a tougher matchup. Obviously gets a better matchup against DePaul here. So I think that's baked into it. It's him having a little bit of a better day against an easier opponent here. So two pretty good prop bets on PrizePicks. We're going to jump into Underdog real quick as well. We're getting a pretty good prop bet on Underdog, and that's going to be Coleman Hawkins for under his fantasy score. So Coleman Hawkins for under his fantasy score, you could... No, you couldn't. I was going to say you could bet this on PrizePicks. Don't do that. This is clearly a big edge for us on Underdog. So I'm going to pull... And this is one that is actually about to go live in about 30 minutes. So if you guys are watching this video, maybe try to get a little bit of action in on this on Underdog. I'm going to pull this one up on PrizePicks for you guys just to show you guys kind of the game log. I like their presentation of the data a little bit more than Underdog. But looking at it, guys, obviously kind of struggling here lately. 3 of the last 5 games getting the under. And we pull it up here real quickly on the Underdog cheat sheet. And we'll notice here, this is for Underdog. The line is clearly too high. Okay, so it's at 27.85. Obviously, like that aspect of it. You look at the average sportsbook line, about 24. We can round up to that. And then the PrizePicks line, 25.5. So clearly a defined edge for us there as well. So we got 3 pretty darn good, solid college basketball prop bets to start off with. Another good Underdog bet that we have is going to be Sean to get over his fantasy score of 25. Again, just kind of a clearly good edge that we are getting here. It's nice that we're getting like 4 really solid bets, 4 bets that we kind of just need to be targeting given the edges that we are getting. So Sean to get over his fantasy score at 25.25 on Underdog. Average sportsbook line about 29.5, clearly good there. Projection data also likes the over there at about 28.5. So yeah, again, really good edges there. I think it's worth calling out that on Underdog, You can get a Luca free square as well. They're continuing that promotion, guys, for Underdog. So make sure to be taking advantage of that as well. And you could do a 3-slip bet with those two if you guys wanted to. I know some people in the 9 to 5 Discord actually ran out the exact slip that I was running out there with that as well. So like to see that there. We got some other ones, some soccer prop bets that are popping up here, some shots on target prop bets. These are probably tomorrow, but not bad edges there. Really like that there. But yeah, let's continue on with some of these Underdog college basketball prop bets that we were getting, guys. Some pretty nice edges here for college basketball. So Jimerson for under his points here of 17. Not a bad spot. Let's actually see if we can pull that up here as well on PrizePicks. Again, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to load when I'm doing a live stream. Let me know, is the audio sounding clear here? I did one slight update. I didn't get a chance to test it out prior to the video. Hopefully it's sounding normal, maybe, compared to my videos that I typically do. Hopefully it's sounding normal. But let me know in the comments. So interesting here, right? Two matchups. He's had some similar matchups. That could be part of it here. But yeah, we're looking at the under here. So obviously don't like the game log there. Also not when looking at this, not something I feel like we would need to avoid as well. I'm fine with sticking with that. With the projection data gives him about 17.10 here. Audio sounds great. Thank you guys. Perfect. Appreciate you all. Let's see here. We got Nathan George. I always get a little bit nervous about making those slight updates because then it's like one thing changes and then another thing, and then you're just making a bunch of weird random little changes. But appreciate you guys. Let me know. Nathan George for over his fantasy score. I mean, guys, wow. I had already placed my bets before this live stream, and these two right here, Jimerson, is it Jimerson? Yeah. I didn't get to that. Nathan George wasn't popping up just yet as well. So after this video, I'm going to play some of these bets as well on my end. This one's popping a lot. I mean, wow. 31 for the average fantasy score. That is crazy. Projection data has it a little bit closer to the fantasy scoreline of Underdog, but wow, that's a pretty nice spot for us. I do want to call one other thing that I'm going to look to add on the cheat sheet. During last week's live stream, obviously, kind of mentioned that I'd probably add in the timestamp here so we could sort by like the time of the games, which I was able to go ahead and do for you guys. But now I want to add in another column where it's like the data correlates and we can just click yes or no. That is something I had in a previous version, kind of the more simple version. I think we need to add that in here as well. So we could just click on, the average sportsbook line, the projection line, all tell us that the whatever, if it's PrizePicks or Underdog line, is clearly giving us an edge there. I want to add that in there as well. Because in some cases, obviously, like this one, Miles Kelly, points and rebounds, average sportsbook line is pretty heavily telling us to bet the under, but the projection data is telling us to bet the over. Maybe on a day like today where we're getting a plethora of really good prop bets, maybe we just don't want to look at those ones where the projection data doesn't necessarily agree. But yeah, the Nathan George one, obviously a good one here. So maybe you guys already placed the Luca free square. We could run out these 3 college basketball prop bets if you guys are just looking for that. That is a pretty good edge for us here as well. Let's see here. A 5-slip bet would obviously be just, or 6-slip bet, flex bet. I mean, pretty darn good board. So if you guys are looking for like an Underdog 6-slip bet, I mean, obviously that's a pretty darn good one for us. Let's continue on. I mean, we're just getting a pretty decent amount of good prop bets here. Colin Murray Bowles for under his fantasy score is okay. We got Arthur Kaluma for under his fantasy score. Let's see here. Johnny, he's always an interesting one, guys, for his fantasy score. This is the first time in a few slates where I feel like, and even Ryan Kalkbrenner here as well. Interesting. So, an interesting that occurs between PrizePicks and Underdog, and they've been better. Is that the fantasy score prop line differences are typically pretty darn big. Yeah, so we got a question, but I'm just shocked at a little bit under the weather, guys. I haven't been able to get as much content out as I would like in the past few days, and so is the family. So time's been eating up. So apologies if my voice starts to go out here. But yeah, I like this over bet here for Johnny. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that one of the sites that like they've been better. PrizePicks and Underdog have been a little bit more concentrated in their lines lately. Yeah, this is good. If you like this in the high scoring game, yeah, by all means, the day is telling us this should be a good bet for us. Ryan Kalkbrenner, if we want, I mean, it's a slight prop line difference still. Like obviously we're getting the defined edge here. Definitely on underdog for the under. We could get there. John Blackwell, I hope this doesn't hit. Obviously wearing my Badger sweatshirt right now. I'm Wisconsin. Don't want this one to hit, but that's another pretty good one. Just so many good college basketball prop bets today. Okay, I always like to see this, guys. So Nathan George, someone that we're already betting on his over fantasy score. We are also being told, all right, his rebounds and assists, we could favor the over as well. I always like to see that. It always makes it a little bit more encouraging. Another decent one. We're starting to get a little bit too low. I do want to sort by some prop line differences that we are getting, though. Just based on the fantasy score. Hey, no problem. No problem at all here. Let's see. Yeah, so some big prop line difference. Oh, interesting here. All right. Again, another Badgers one that I don't exactly like. But yeah, guys, so we have a little bit of a stacking opportunity here, right? So we got John Blackwell where we could be betting the under fantasy score. Day is kind of telling us to do that. And then we have John here as well for under his fantasy score, where we're kind of being told that this game might be a little bit lower scoring than underdog is thinking. And so I think this is a clear, great stacking opportunity and a little bit of a milling opportunity as well. The fact that PrizePicks has us at 30.5, crazy, right? So a decent milling opportunity there. The under is going to be the way to go. That's the better side of this. But for it to be out by 3.5 between PrizePicks and Underdog, that's pretty crazy. Okay, because you look at the average sportsbook line basically at 33. Very nice edge for us there. I like that spot. Another one, Jalen Lowe. Oh man. All right. I got to place these two bets myself, guys, real quick. Again, I told you guys I already had placed a decent amount of bets before this live stream, but this is clearly a pretty good spot. I just got to take advantage of those prop line differences. Oh, this one went live. Son of a darn it. My bad, guys. My bad. Here, we'll take that game off. We'll take that off. It should be off. Why is it not? Why is it showing? Oh, here we go. My apologies there, guys. Getting excited about a game that's already started. Apologies there. But this Jalen Lowe one is pretty solid as well. So yeah, I'm gonna place that one real quick. And then could easily get to Coleman Hawkins for under his fantasy score. Again, that's one that clearly pops. Another one, Derek Queen, who can have some pretty big spike games, but that's another like spot where underdog is clearly a little bit too high there. So another good spot there. Lately, the underdog prop bets have been kind of the way to go. So I'm going to do Coleman Hawkins with that low one for under fantasy score. Just going to do the 2 slip bets just because I'm doing the live. I don't want to be making bets while I'm doing the live stream, but it's a good spot. Want to get to that. So let's see. We're going to jump on into PrizePicks again, guys. Switch back on over. Now, if you guys are watching this video on YouTube or on Twitter, make sure to just leave a thumbs up or like the video. That does help out the channel and the Twitter page as well a lot. So that is greatly appreciated. I do want to jump into some NBA bets. So we're just going to load some of those up real quick. All right. So looking at guys right now, so we got Andrew Wiggins for under his fantasy score. Still not. I don't know. I still don't really want to mess with Andrew Wiggins too much here, guys. So Andrew Wiggins, obviously on a new team, gets a good match, but I don't really want to mess with that. Let's see here. RJ Barrett, again, he's in a pretty good spot against Washington. Sure, I'll probably place these bets, but I won't get as much exposure to these two bets as I would typically get for some other bets. And then we got Giannis here for under his fantasy score. Another one where, I probably won't get too much exposure to, but not terrible. What is it? 6.5 point spread. So maybe a little bit of a blowout run. Maybe he gets a little bit reduced minutes. Orlando's typically a pace down spot, obviously low game total. That's part of it. Yeah, I could see that one. I could see that one. We got another one, Paulo, as well in that same game. So maybe a little bit of a game stack for his under fantasy score. He does draw a difficult matchup as well. We're getting enough fantasy score ones. I've been staying away from the blocks and steals ones mostly, but if you guys want to target those, you can. Mark Williams for under his field goals made. I do want to get it added in there where I add back in like some projection data, the averages and stuff for field goals made. That's just something I haven't updated just yet. Obviously, more of the base stats. This is field goals made as a stat, and the blocks and steals are stats that I added in about 2 weeks ago because I had the ability to. And same thing with some first quarter stats as well. But I just haven't added that also into kind of this portion of this tool. Trae Young for under field goals attempt, 8.5, another decent one. So pretty solid day for NBA bets as well, guys. If you guys want to be attacking there, but yeah, let's just go back and jump into the PrizePicks board as a whole as well. And so I'm curious, guys. Yeah, I don't mind the field goals made. The field goals made bets. I'm curious, guys. Would you rather a live stream like this, where it is somewhat similar to the videos I post, maybe a little bit longer and not as direct, I guess, where it's just a live stream? I can give you guys a video like this. I don't mind doing that. That way, like yesterday, where I come out with the video around like 1 p.m. very late. Like the video just didn't get any views, even though like we've been having a good run. I could do the live streams. I don't mind. It's just a little bit less professional, a little bit more drawn out. And I know some people don't like that. I'm curious your thoughts. Like, is it live stream perfectly fine? Just like leave a thumbs up. You don't even have to say yes or no. But looking at guys, jumping back in here to the PrizePicks cheat sheet. Yeah, this one's interesting. So James for under his points of 17.5. Appreciate you. Appreciate you letting me know. Let's say peek here at James. Wiggins is questionable today. Good. So this one's interesting for James. So we see the game log 18, 18, 18, right? Like the fact that Vegas is telling us to bet the under kind of that heavily, and the projection data is also telling us that the under is the way to go. I like seeing this. I don't really care that he's gotten the over three of the last 4 games. The fact that he's only gotten to 18, right? Like this makes me more encouraged with the Vegas line. Vegas is telling us to bet the under. So I like this one. This is a decent spot here as well. We're getting too many good bets today, guys. That's the issue. Let's see here more. Joshua Jefferson, he's been someone that I feel like has popped up a decent amount for his over fantasy score over the last like 2 weeks. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about March Madness as well, just because we've been covering it. Oh, did they take down his lines? The rest of his lines? I might have to do a data update here. This one updates that game goes live in about 15 minutes. But I'm pretty excited for March Madness. Just I think it's because we've been covering it, having success. We had success last year, and on top of that, I might be going to a slate of games as well, which would be fun. I haven't figured out which day specifically, but it'd be fun to have some live bets watching some players that we've been covering throughout the year. So Chaz Laner for under his points and rebounds has been a bet that we've been on a decent amount. This was a bet that we were on, I think, last week for the Betr slip that I kind of gave out to you guys. And so I do want to call it Betr as well, guys. We are getting 3 discounts on Betr again. The nice thing about Betr, guys, is they do give us daily discounts. They don't always hit, right? I mean, their discounts, they're still going to be the best bets on the board. We're worth calling out, guys. And so, like, if you want to use Chaz for under his points and rebounds again, you can end up getting there. Again, if you guys have never signed up for Betr, it is a decent site for just obviously betting on 3 daily discounts. And then what I've been using it for a lot is PGA prop bets, because they pay out better for a 5 slip flex hit or 6 or 7 or 8, whatever. They pay out better for that compared to like PrizePicks or Underdog, where if you add in like 3 bets to a PrizePicks or Underdog PGA slip, they're trash. And so did want to call that out. Let's see here. I thought I had a slide for this. One second here. I want to find it. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you guys are interested in using Betr, just use the link in the description of this video. The promo code that you can use is 925 spelled out. But take advantage of their promo code. They give match, and so it gives you basically your first entry 250 win or lose. So if you win, you get that match. If you lose, you get that match as well. Very solid promo there. But again, they give daily discounts. I feel like this site has been slept on. And I know it feels like probably I'm just promoting this because it's I'm a partner with them and everything, but it's a nice little spot. I mean, if you guys are someone that bets on multiple sites already, that's probably where I would encourage it. Where if you guys are someone that only plays on PrizePicks or Underdog, and maybe you don't want to branch out too much, honestly, don't, because when you start to add in more books and stuff, then you might be maybe not making as many good bets as you can because you feel like you have to take advantage of discounts and everything. Like some people get lost in the shuffle a little bit when they start to add in more sports books. But if you are someone that does place a lot of bets and whatnot, really not a bad site to get to with some of those edges that we currently have and typically have as well. It's typically a good spot. I'm just looking at some PGA bets in case we have any edges there. I'm not really seeing any. All right, so we're gonna jump back in. I'm gonna hit a refresh on my end here, and then I'll probably get out of here, guys. While I'm refreshing, might as well do a little fluff talk here as well. So, any of you guys watching Severance, the TV show Severance on Apple TV? I've been watching it. A lot of people are hating on the last episode. And yeah, it was boring. It was boring. I get the hate, but also fun episode. Not fun episode, but you learned a lot more in that episode from this last Friday than 2 Fridays ago, where they gave you a lot of information. It was that was a fun episode, but you didn't really learn anything. Whereas this last episode, you kind of learned a lot, even though it was an extremely boring episode. Very weird. And for what it's worth, if you guys have watched Severance and haven't watched the show Silo, it's a pretty good show. Pretty good show on Apple TV. I started a free trial, and so that's kind of what I've been doing. And I mentioned I've been sick a little bit. I've kind of been having to watch that while I was a little bit under the weather this past week. But 2 good shows. To me, they're the closest 2 shows to Lost that we have had. Which, if I had to choose like a show that's like the best show of my life, I would say it is Lost as well. Like, and so those 2 shows are like the closest I think we have come to Lost in a long time. And yes, guys, I am doing a little bit of fluff here because I'm trying to load the data for you guys to see if we have any more updates. Also, kind of fun. I was nervous that this season of Severance would not be as good as the previous one. Show was crazy. Just yeah. That's smart. That's smart. I thought when I started the free trial that the season was already done. I didn't even look into it. I'd seen it on TikTok a little bit, like the previews of it and people just showing clips of it. I'm like, this show looks good. And then so I really wanted to watch the show Silo, actually. And then I'm like, well, might as well try Severance. It looks pretty good. Both of them are good shows. Yes. Yeah, that'd be awesome, right? They always do their social media team, PrizePicks. They always do random stuff like that where they're joking, but it's always fun. They do have to tie a lot of ends. I don't think they are. I really don't. I think they're going to leave us on a cliffhanger that we probably won't like. At the same time, I haven't tried to like think about what's going to happen too much. I don't like want to ruin the show, if that makes sense. I don't want to be disappointed. I just want to watch the show naturally. Like for me, and I know that the MCU stuff has really just been bad. But I think part of the reason as to why it's been bad is because we've all had these expectations for like the MCU to be like all these great movies, all these great shows. And so I've purposefully not like went on my way to get the Severance content or think about it too much. I'm just taking the show as it is. Great cash yesterday. It was good cash. It was good cash. That was solid there. Pretty solid day through and through yesterday. The nice thing about this year, and I mentioned this at the top, is that the bets have all been hitting at their expected hit rate. Sure, we've had a few bad days in there. We've had a few really good days, but in terms of it being like like I said, it's been an ideal betting season thus far, in the sense of like Obviously, it could always be better, but in the sense of expectations, having realistic expectations has been the ideal season thus far, or year, I should say. But again, guys, just updating the data here real quick, and then I'll probably get out of here. I'll show you guys. Give me one more second here. Yeah, it's taking a second here. This is the issue with going live. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than I would like to update and stuff. Here, we'll pull up the board again real quick while it's updating, and then I'll redo it here in a second. So we'll scroll down a little bit more. We are getting some other spots here as well. Like I mentioned, the Jefferson one. We can scroll down a little bit lower. Like Bruce Thornton, this is a bet that I got a decent amount of action in already as well today. Just given the fact that the projection data likes him. Now, we were getting less bets when I made this, but still a fine spot. Okay, Chucky Hepburn for over his fantasy score on PrizePicks. I mean, this is clearly a good edge. Maybe the average sportsbook line and projection data are a little bit too high when we're looking at the PrizePicks line and the Underdog line, right? But at the same time, still a pretty good spot for us here. So I'm kind of happy to get there with this bet. Too many. It's Saturday. College basketball Saturdays are fun. We're getting plenty of good spots. Dak, never heard of this player, but under points and rebounds, decent. Matt Cross, the projection daylight's over. So again, with a day like today where we're getting plenty of profits we can target, maybe we don't need to get to that. Alex Carnaban for over his rebounds. Good chance that this is going to be a push, but not a bad spot to get to there as well. Johnny, always like to see that. So if you are betting on that over on Underdog, always a good thing for his over fantasy score. Always a good thing to see rebounds and assists popping up there. Again, same thing with Nathan George. Already mentioned that there as well. Bensley Joseph, that guy ruined his slip like 2 days ago for his fantasy score. Missed by like 2. But yeah, this is what's interesting. So the slight 0.45 prop line difference, guys, between PrizePicks and Underdog makes this edge for us with Johnny here 53.6. We're on Underdog. It was a little bit better, right? 54% edge. So just always interesting to point out how that can be the difference of a bet hitting or not hitting. Oh yeah, Walter and Clayton Jr. as well. This is a bet that I've gone to as well. Not a massive edge here, but still 53.5% edge. Again, not a big one, but the projection data, the average sportsbook line all line up with us probably chasing that over bet as well. So I did just refresh the data. So let me give me 2 minutes here to just get that slide ready and refresh all that stuff on my end too as well. But yeah, just getting back into like Severance and Silo, just real quickly. I know it's a lot of fluff. My apologies here. But my issue with like TV lately is that a lot of shows have been like good for like one season, like really good first season, and then just terrible. And it's just been so hard to get invested into TV shows. Like I appreciate the investment. That's why like the MCU, their first phase was so good because like your investments into it paid off. And I feel like just shows and even movies lately have not done that. And it's been super annoying. So the fact that like Severance was able to build off of their first season, pretty awesome. And Silo, like I mentioned, not as good as a season 2 as the first one, but they had a good enough ending to the point where you're still like you feel like your investment can be paid off in the show. Like the time that you're spending watching it is going to be paid off. Which again, everything else lately on TV has been not doing that, so it's been annoying there. Yeah, just real quickly, guys. We are So Chad's calling this out. So yes, we'll pull that up right now. So for PrizePicks, guys, yes. And this is partially due to look at the Underdog line here. like for Wiggins here, this is clearly a better bet for us right now to bet his under fantasy score. Now he is questionable. Someone called out in the comments. But yeah, that's crazy. So the average sportsbook line would have it closer to 29. Now the projection data still likes it about 20 or 32.5, much more in line with that PrizePicks line. But definitely interesting there. And so, I mean, just right off the bat, guys, like 4 really good bets that we begin to. If you guys want to do Javon Small for under his points and rebounds as well, you can. Got the James points one. RJ Barrett line we are getting as well. This is now going to become a better bet on Underdog here, okay, because it's just a little bit higher in Underdog, so might as well just make that best bet when we can do it. Still going to make a PV there. Let's see Giannis here. So yeah, okay, this is what I wanted to see. Let's sort by NBA. And then sort by fantasy score. Because although both sides have been better about college basketball prop line differences for the most part, generally speaking, for whatever reason, there's been some weird spots where they haven't been as good for NBA, which is obviously nice for us. So let's see. What are the biggest prop line differences that we are getting? LeBron, Reeves, Kyle Kuzma, we're not getting enough sportsbook data for those lines just yet. Not massive prop line differences, but worth calling out. So Zion, that's decent. 53.3% edge, decent there. Yeah, that's what's annoying. Like with Marvel, like they can afford anything. They can afford to release something later too, as well. They don't have to force stuff out. Like the whole MCU shows that they had, every single show and movie, they did not stick to landing. Like they purposely left everything up in the open so that they could come back to it. And I know the stuff with Jonathan Majors and all the legal stuff kind of made them do it, but super annoying. Like if they just button up the endings for all that stuff a little bit more, it'd been better. And like again, going back to that investment, like the investment in it would have been much more rewarding. Whereas now it's like, what are we doing? Like, why am I watching this stuff? But I am excited for the Fantastic Four. That's kind of the last hope for me with Marvel is that stuff. But Maxine Raynard for fantasy score, I didn't see him pop up at all, and so I can look in just a second. Let me close up the NBA thoughts first. But yeah, Josh Giddey, guys. So right, clearly good edge for us here on PrizePicks. So I imagine this is going to get bumped. Might honestly, if you guys are watching this right now, might be not a bad time to pop up the PrizePicks app and place this because I do imagine it's going to get bumped. Just like the average sportsbook line, the projection data, the underdog line, all in line. We can clearly see that this Josh Giddey one is definitely one that would probably get bumped. Let's actually see. I know he's been on a tear recently, and then I think his fantasy score, some bet was a popular bet on his last slate. I'm pretty sure, and we were being told to bet his under fantasy score, which I think it was him, and it hit pretty easily. Okay, it was against Indy. Yeah. That probably wasn't easily. I think he was at 40 though that day or something like that. Much more. I mean, obviously, we look at this, the match with Miami. It's a little bit different of a matchup these days. I understand, but still doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies to bet the over against them. But he's just been playing extremely well. The usage has been great. That trade from last year, I thought Chicago was the team winning it, although it's a trade that seemingly worked for both teams, right? But I thought the Bulls were getting the better player overall. So it's nice to see that finally working out for them. Just too many guards for them. It was kind of weird at the time. But yeah, like that over fantasy score there as well. Not as many big prop line differences though as I thought we might be getting, but yeah, that's a pretty good edge there for NBA as well. Plenty of good spots. It's like 4 really good fantasy score prop bets. So let's see. We'll go back to that college b-ball question. We'll see if we're even getting the fantasy score for them. Again, we don't always get the fantasy score lines. Per Vegas, because we need the turnovers, we need the blocks, we need the steals. Oh, so yeah, basically a 50-50 split. Sorry. Basically a 50-50 split. Yeah, don't need to go crazy with it. I mean, slight. Like, yeah, if you were, no, it's just stay away from this one. Honestly, not a bet we should be targeting. So, not worth it there. So going to jump back into Underdog real quick. And then we're probably getting out of here. Again, guys, if you guys are watching this video, leave a like or thumbs up, depending on where you're watching. If you're watching on X, obviously just favorite it. And then if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like. That always helps out a decent amount. So we are still getting all the same good bets that we were already getting here, popping up here for Underdog. Basically all the same stuff. So not too much has changed here. Too much. Actually, I don't even know if did I refresh this? Not a big deal. Not a big deal if I didn't. We're still getting all the same. We're getting plenty of good prop bets on Underdog, whereas compared to PrizePicks, we weren't exactly getting as many. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to do it. Don't need these videos to be too long. So we got all the bets that we need to go. Just recap kind of the few bets that I highlighted already, and then we'll get out of here. So again, Jameer Watkins for over his fantasy score on PrizePicks. That's clearly a good bet for us. So we're going to be targeting that. And then another one you could pair with that was Micah PV for over his fantasy score of 36.5 on PrizePicks as well. You can run that out as a 2-slip bet. Showed you guys plenty of other good bets that we are getting. Just saw Andrew Wiggins for under his fantasy score being a bet. Josh Giddey maybe over his fantasy score on PrizePicks as well. Plenty of good bets there. And then jumping into Underdog, Coleman Hawkins for under his fantasy score is one of the better ones. Again, take advantage of the Luka Doncic free square that we are getting, or the gimme pick. I do think you have to I think it was like a Twitter one. They always have all these different. They're collecting emails, is what they're doing here, guys. So whether it's through Discord or X, they make you sign up through their whatever links. But obviously, we want to be taking advantage of that if we can. And they already have that information, which is weird. If you're playing on Underdog, they already have that stuff. They just want you on X. They want you on Discord as well, which is what it is. It's an interesting strategy. But that's going to be all, guys. Appreciate you being here. Good luck with all your bets today. And as always, let's keep cashing. I lied. One quick rewarding people that are still here. Real quickly, guys. I just saw on X that we are getting some PrizePicks discounts as well. So I just wanted to call that out. Looks like we're getting some UFC discounts. So just wanted to call that out. Significant strikes. We're getting some discounts there via the X Twitter post. So take advantage of that, guys. Did want to call that before since I was still live. So obviously, again, as always with the discounts, if you guys are someone that's being limited, maybe chase more of a 5 or 6 slip flex bet. Take advantage. If you're only being able to place $5, might as well just do that. If you guys are not being limited, you could do $25, $30 in some situations. Do them all individually. Do 5 slips individually. Do 6 slips individually. Take advantage of those discounts that they're trying to present to us. So, like, for example, Taco Tuesday, the bets, and I'm still tilted about this because the rest basically picked 2 bets that if I picked any other of the top 6 bets that were popping up, would have been better for the bet slip. Went 2 for 4. But had you done that, had you just used all those 4 bets, you would have had a profitable day because the Taco Tuesday bets all went 3 for 3. And again, it's just wanted to call that up. Take advantage of those discounts. They're trying to give us free money. Attack it properly. But all right, that's going to be all, guys. Appreciate you being here. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.